Okay, let's get started with week 1 and 2. As you can see, we're doing collaboration and creative communication. So let's expand this. And there is the module overview, which I mentioned in the module or the course overview. There's also the introduction. So if we click on that, you'll see the due dates, you'll see the objectives and the checklist. To navigate again, just click on the upper right hand corner to the introduce yourself. We're going to use VoiceThread. To do that, just click on the launch button here. You'll see the prompt. We're basically going to introduce ourselves, our name, our school, subject, hobbies, whatever you're comfortable sharing with the class. Feel free to do that. To do that, just come down here to this little comment button. Expand that. You can comment as text, you can comment as an audio file, you can record a video, or you can upload a pre-recorded audio or video or text file if you wish to do it that way. Once you're done with that, make sure you click on this submit button, and then you can go back to the course this way. Oops. And then when you get back to the course, you can click on understand, and that will open that up. We're going to start with reviewing the SEC standards for students. Number 7 is the global communicator. There are 7 standards which are here, and there are a few short videos for standard 7. Go ahead and watch them and open up this collaboration document. Open up this guided notes, just reflect on this while you're watching. This is not going to be submitted. This is only for your learning, because when you do respond to our discussions and the other learning tasks in the course, you will be able to refer to this. Please include this information, refer to this as you build support for your thinking for anything you do submit for the course. So keep these handy. These are just for you. They're not being submitted. This will take us to the next page. This is about collaboration. There's another guided notes here. Same situation. You can expand it to take a look at it. Click on these 3 dots. You can download it, and that'll allow you to have a copy of it. Take notes. Again, not collected, but it helps you have that information so that as you're responding to discussion posts and such, you kind of have it right there for you to reference, and saves you some time that way. Here are the readings. This is a snippet. You can just expand that. This is from Dr. Monica Burns, who talked about the models of digital collaboration. This is an excerpt from her book. Feel free to read that. A couple articles. Down here at the bottom, depending whether you're elementary or secondary, you can choose one of these two. One of them is this one is more appropriate for the younger students. The second one is more appropriate for older students. Choose the one that relates to you, your situation. We're going to talk about the SAMR model, which is substitution, augmentation, modification, and redefinition. Many of you have probably heard about this. Add this to your guided notes packet. ISTE Standard 6. Now, here's a discussion board from a TED Talk from one of my favorite educational speakers who has since passed away. This is probably his most famous TED Talk about do schools kill creativity. I'd really be interested to hear your thoughts about that. So watch this. It is about 20 minutes, so feel free to increase the speed just a little bit to cut down on that time. He is a pretty slow speaker, so increasing the speed will not make it difficult to understand. Then we're going to move on to creativity. We need a bigger definition of creativity. This is a 90-second video. Think about what that means. Capture that in your guided notes. And then the guided notes are down here. Then we've got some research from the P21 Society and a couple articles that how do we foster creativity with students. All right, so now we have our digital collaboration tools. What we're going to do, I do want you to devote about 30 or 60 minutes to this. And what I would like you to do is read through these descriptions about what they are. You're probably familiar with some of them. There are probably other tools that are not on this list because there are just so many great tools. These are the big ones that I see in my travels around different schools when I check in with teachers. But I've kind of organized them with elementary and secondary, but depending on how you want to use them, they can be used at a lot of different grade levels. So for this particular part of the module, go ahead and explore them, read the tools that you want, find something you've not used before or not used in order to foster collaboration. Use the links that are below each tool, learn more about them, dive into the help pages and the support pages, how to get started, how to create an account and such, and then choose a tool that you have not used and go deeper with those resources. What can it do? What are some ways it can be used with the students in the classroom collaboratively, or other ways that it can support learning in your classroom with your particular students. So take some time to go through these, and when you're done with that, we're going to move to our creative tools. Same thing here. I've added a couple tools. WeVideo is one that's a web-based video editor. Students can make their own videos. They can make public service announcements. They can make explainer videos. They can recreate book scenes. They can do all kinds of stuff with that. WeVideo Academy has ideas for lessons to be project-based and other things. So check out some of the things on there. And Scratch is one of my favorite tools for coding. You can create digital stories there. There's a video on how to make a digital story by coding a story. Check that out. That's a really great one. Kids really seem to gravitate towards Scratch because they'd like to be able to make things like that. A couple of reminders of some of the things that were in the digital tools page before that, just so you don't have to go back and forth. And then we come to the task for week 1 and 2. So when you get here, what you want to do is come over here and click View the Instructions. And so there are two options. You can do option A, which is a collaboration-focused activity that you're going to develop using one of the tools, where you're going to focus on how students are going to interact, how they're going to share ideas and co-create, or it can be more of a creativity-focused activity. This could be more of an individual activity, or it could be it could be collaborative, depending on how you want to structure it. So what you're going to do is you're going to create an example of what you want one of the students to do. So let's say you want them to create a digital story about protecting the environment. You can have them create a story about how you can recycle that helps protect the environment. You're going to post a link to that. You're going to give a brief reflection, 3 to 5 sentences, really short, but your learning goals, how the activity supports collaborative or creative activities. Talk about if it's collaborative, what model that Dr. Burns shared that it would fall under, which ISTE collaborator indicator would be aligned to, as well as creativity standard, where it falls under the SAMR standard. And then you're going to open this Padlet link, and you've probably used Padlet. If you've got a collaborative activity, you predominantly would classify it as collaborative, add it to this column. If it's primarily creative, do it this column, or if you feel it's more a little bit of both, it's kind of a combination of both, add it to this column. Put those reflections there, and that'll be the end of the week 1 and 2 tasks for you, and that will take care of week 1 and 2. So please let me know what questions you have, and let me know how things are going.